Up from the depths of the mighty Amazon comes a creature to astound and terrorize the world. Creature from the Black Lagoon.
In case you pass out, that's tough.
Welcome back to 31 Days of Halloween. We're continuing our journey through the 1950s, and for the last time we'll look at the classic Universal monsters. Today, we're going to the Amazon to look at Creature from the Black Lagoon from 1954. This is the movie that got me into horror movies. I'm pretty sure I had seen some others around the same time, but this one was the first to really have an impression on me, and it's always been a personal favorite of mine. The Universal monsters themselves had been on a steady decline at this point. After the Wolfman, they were consistently releasing sequel after sequel to the old classics, with each getting worse in quality and more stupid than the last, even resorting to bringing comedy legends Abbott and Costello into the mix. Universal needed a new hit to fit in with the atomic age, and decided to go with a more adventurous theme. Gone are the Gothic castles, mansions, and European villages, and say hello to the rivers of the Amazon. When scientists discover some remains of a possible link between humans and sea creatures, an expedition sets out to hopefully find the rest of it. Turns out, one of the creatures is still alive and doesn't want to be disturbed. The creature takes an interest in the girl on the ship, Kay, played by Julia Adams, because of course he does, and from then on it's a battle between man versus nature. The creature himself, also known as the gill-man, adds to the list of sympathetic Universal monsters. He's just a wild animal that wants to be left alone, as he should be. I absolutely love the creature's design. The suit is once again an incredibly iconic monster. It's perfect.
Hey!
Gill-man's grotto is a pretty cool set piece, but the riverboat is a pretty unique choice. It adds a nice kinetic energy to the shots that would normally be static in these types of films. I imagine that it was done in this way to help with the film's main gimmick, being in 3D. Creature from the Black Lagoon mixes things up a lot compared to the other Universal monsters. There's the change of setting for one, but also a lot of the movie takes place underwater, which looks great on the crystal clear Blu-ray restoration. This is super impressive as the underwater shots are absolutely beautiful, but the creature himself is fully shown underwater. Major props to the actor Rico Browning, who played the character underwater. He had to hold his breath for several minutes and act underwater in the suit. The movie isn't totally perfect. Some of the writing is a little goofy.
Without money, there isn't any research.
That's right. If it weren't for Dr. Williams going on digging up the dough, we wouldn't be down here.
Just listen to that alliteration. And unlike the other Universal monsters, I have to say I hate the original score. The creature's theme is extremely loud and is overplayed to the point of being annoying and eventually becomes comical with how much it's used. That being said, Creature from the Black Lagoon is still a classic and one of the best horror movies to come out of the 1950s. It's iconic in its own right and also marks the end of the Universal Monsters era, with no new monsters being introduced after this. There has unfortunately never been another line of movies like this since, and probably never will be. This is a special magic that hasn't been recaptured in 70 years. This movie did have two sequels, Revenge of the Creature in 1955, and the line officially ended with The Creature Walks Among Us in 1956.
The creature walks among us, the grimmest cargo ever brought to civilization.
Which I haven't seen, but it looks like shit.
I have burned away the outer scale. There's a structure of human skin underneath it.
Ironically, Gill-man both brought new life to the Universal monsters and killed the series at the same time.
Pleasant nightmares, friends. Good midnight to you.